Welcome back, folks, to another installment of the Yins Boys podcast.
Today is a day that I think it's kind of, I mean, it's a day that will live on in infamy in United States history because, I mean, it's the worst terrorist attack
On U.S. soil?
I mean, it's the most egregious one that I can remember that I ever lived through.
Yeah, I wore this shirt because it's a very spooky day that we're dealing with here. In regard to that, our guest could not make it today. He will be here most likely next weekend, but we got a bit of a snow squall today, and he was unable to make it. He's traveling a little further than people normally would. So
Not me.
Yes, that's true. But
But I mean, I'm always here. That's what I mean. It's a given.
fear not. We're not under. I guess shouldn't say we're not over promising and under delivering. He will be here.
Well, no, we are. I mean, we did.
Well, no, I'm just.
Have a little accountability, Ken. Come on.
It's not my fault.
I
Not my
didn't
fault.
say it was. I didn't say
I will not be held
it's
accountable.
Our show. We have to take account.
That's true. I won't, but
That's fine. That's you know.
he'll be here next week. I promise it. At any rate, still,
Well, don't say that. You've already broken your promise once.
I would never.
You're going to be like some deadbeat dad to the listeners.
Nah.
You kind of are. I mean, kind of got the look a little bit.
Look at this. This is a good look.
I didn't say it wasn't. It's kind of a deadbeat dad.
No,
look. It looks like you're hanging down and,
It's very alive beat, Dad.
well, maybe you beat your kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
412-613-1116 is the hotline for calls and texts. As usual, don't forget it.
Yinsboys.com. The real Yinsboys at gmail.com.
Hit us up.
Instagram, Snapchat.
Yep.
We do have merch. It's just,
Oh, yeah.
they were closed today. So I kind of, it'll be here. We'll feature it next week probably.
Yeah, that was part of it too that fucking pissed me off. We should have had merch today.
Yeah.
We should have had our special guest today.
It was just it's a botched week.
Next week, I'm feeling it. So we'll see how it goes from there.
Forgot about that one.
What do you want to get into today, man? We should probably start with the obvious.
January 6th, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to go into it too much because we're leaving a lot of that topic for our guest.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, do we even want to touch on it at all?
Well, I can just say that, hey, today's the day.
It's the 4th year anniversary or 3rd year anniversary?
I don't know. It has a 3 or 4. It was during the
2020.
pandemic, was it not?
Oh, 2020.
4th anniversary, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? Let's not touch on it too much, other than the fact that we're all remembering this day very closely
Yeah, I mean,
for different reasons. I'm sure some.
Donald Trump should absolutely be to blame for it. He's an insurrectionist.
What can I say? What can he say at this point?
Well, I got the tweets. Like I said, I was gonna, we had a whole. It was gonna be a January 6th special, but we're delaying it to the next Saturday.
Well, let's keep all your data. We'll go.
Yeah, I got it.
Go for it.
I got it.
Before in the old the green room, which I'm going to call is just the shop. Before we come up into the studio, we were talking a little bit about some I'm edging to hear about in Miami. Was it?
Oh, the alleged aliens in Miami. At the mall.
And these are not illegal aliens, mind you. Well, I guess they are technically
they're
illegal.
not Cubans. They're not Cubans. Don't worry about it. I do love the Cubans, though. If you've ever been to Miami.
Good food, right?
Oh, the Cuban food. And the women, I mean.
Papi.
A lot of that.
Me gusta.
Very gusta, yes. Yes.
I want to hear about this, though. So where'd you find this out, or what's the headline? Or
So I'll read you the headline, I guess. Because I got it pulled up.
Nice.
So this happened at what mall was it? I think it was Bayside Mall. Okay. So this is just a title. Police activity ongoing near Bayside Marketplace in Miami, Florida, late January 1st, in response to a crowd disturbance. So this was allegedly, this is the number one. You got to watch the videos. Maybe we'll pepper them in here, but the police response to this incident. So allegedly, what really happened were some kids were fighting in the mall. Happens all the time. But that warranted, it's like 150 police cars. You got to see the video of like
150?
Bro, you got to see the video of like the police response
For 2 kids fighting in a mall?
No, it was probably a group of them.
Oh, like it happened in Moroville all the time
It
here.
happens,
Yeah,
it's commonplace in malls anymore.
Yeah.
I believe me, I know.
yeah. Well, right.
It's my business.
Sure.
So
Well, that's why they're all shutting down too. They don't want to deal with any of this stuff. Part of it, anyways, I should say.
No, the retail's very much still alive.
Yeah, but
very much still alive.
But I would say, well, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. At least from what my opinion is.
From a retail theft standpoint, maybe.
Yeah, I'm talking about like what do you call a mall that's like a Ross Park or something
It's
like
a
that?
mall. It's a shopping center.
Oh, okay, like not like an outlet mall or something. I'm not talking like
technically that'd be a super regional mall.
okay, or not like a
Not like a strip center or a power center is like
right. We get like a Walmart next to a Target next to this. That's not really a mall, right?
That's like a power center or a strip center.
So what my I guess my argument or even my opinion maybe on this matter, it's not professional, mind you, but I see a lot of these malls, classic malls, not doing as well as they would.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or used
But that's
to.
well, part of that is number one, the extremely massive expansion of retail space in the United States in like the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
If you look at like the number of retail like per square foot, like U.S. versus Canada, it's like there's like 10 to 15 times more retail square footage in the United States. It's like way overbuilt.
They got too big for their britches.
Absolutely.
I see. Yeah, I see.
So that's part of that.
I actually thought it was more honestly because of the retail theft, the chicanery, if you will, that goes on now in malls.
Yeah, that's definitely. It's not really. I wouldn't say it's part of it. It's more of there's just too much space, and you have to be efficient with your positioning of your locations in a market.
If it's not a mall, it's somewhere else. I should say too. They're going to blame a mall space for kids getting together and fighting because they're going to do it.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, they did it in the street. They do it to people's houses. It's just an easy public place for these kids to go to. But hey, let's not get too far off topic.
Yeah. So the headline story was it was in response to a bunch of kids fighting, but allegedly, so the power was shut off for a couple hours when this happened in the area.
Conveniently.
So that's number one. Number two, allegedly, I don't know if this is true. Maybe we can do some more research after this because you're good on this. But allegedly, the airport, like airspace, was shut down.
Interesting. So normally they would call that a TFR. That's a temporary flight restriction for a certain area. They do TFRs for like when presidents come into town in certain areas.
Well, because there was helicopters in the area at the time.
That were
I'm assuming
aiding.
police.
Oh, okay. So they put up a TFR to shut down airspace for that. Okay.
So allegedly
For kids?
Well, that's the whole thing. Is so when you look at this police response, and then you hear some of the eyewitnesses, what people are saying is they saw 8 to 10 foot tall aliens or dark shadow people. It's pretty, I don't know, vague if you hear some of the people's thoughts.
Well, I would like to hear some of. How about no photography, videography, anything in regard to this?
Well, there is video of like the initial police response, but I don't think there's any video of like
the shadow people.
Yeah, but also, I mean, let's be real. If it really happened that way, do you think the government doesn't have
a way of
scrubbing that or stopping that?
They scrub Nancy Pelosi's young
busty self from the internet. Yeah,
they could easily do it for aliens. Yeah, and I don't want to go and take one side or another. Too little information to make that call.
Absolutely
spooky, nonetheless. That you have this much of a police response.
Well, it's just weird because there was the aliens earlier in 23 in Las Vegas that landed.
Yep.
In that person's backyard that was
allegedly again.
It was the cops caught something on video. The cops were there. Like it
we talked about this actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It just and then that motherfucker's not real.
Yeah, dude.
It's just a lot of weird, strange. I mean, this always happens, but it's fun to think about. It's fun to talk about.
Yeah. Also, I mean, whether it's real or not, we love the idea of talking about it. But I will I personally, being more of a I wouldn't say more of a grounded or real person, but I will say that
you're pretty aloft. But
how about here's my angle, just to be the non-conspiracy theorist, is that we have more capabilities of pictures and videos now more than ever. There's more people on planet Earth than there ever has at least in documented history, right? what makes you think that mental illness is on a high rise, that where there's just more chance of catching mentally ill people acting this way, or I don't know.
I'm not disagreeing. From the standpoint of people getting video, I mean, that's sort of always the proof is in the pudding.
Sure.
Like anything, it's until there's definitive proof, it's all conjecture. But I was thinking, the heat of the moment, you see some shadow people.
Whew.
You're out of there. You're not. I'm not getting my phone out. My gun's coming out. Those are allegedly some people shot at them. Allegedly.
Well, what's your gun gonna do if this is like a being that who knows? Maybe it does nothing. Maybe, I mean, especially if
it's better than nothing.
I would say
it's more of a show of power and authority.
Like get out of here.
Dominance play.
Sure. But if these beings are potentially, these alleged beings are, dark matter or whatnot, like
they're interdimensional
or interdimensional.
Who knows? I don't know.
Dark matter. Yeah, let me correct myself.
I wasn't there.
I think dark matter.
It's antimatter.
Or antimatter.
Same thing.
Right, but antimatter, if it comes in contact with matter, it would they dissolve themselves. I think it just doesn't. Explodes. Yeah, it just doesn't. So they can't be antimatter technically.
I like I said, I think if we're putting money down, interdimensional.
I like that, Sasquatch,
quote unquote. Yeah, but I mean, I think you can be real in this dimension and still travel through dimension. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not smart enough. I understand the concept. And I've talked and explored into it, but I'm not, honestly, my brain doesn't have the capacity to understand or quantify.
I mean, if there was one person that I think could quantify it, it'd be Stephen Hawking.
Yeah. It's a shame he's not here to talk about or talk to.
Well, he's not here to talk about it a lot. Moving on to the next topic.
His name is in the news, though.
Yeah, it's pretty,
long after his passing.
Well, you heard some of the things that they're talking about, allegedly. I don't know.
So he has been, now this is confirmed, right? So I don't want to be speaking slander or whatnot, but this is confirmed that he has been on
Jeff Epps.
Yeah, Little
St. James.
Little St. James, but the Lolita Express.
Yeah,
right. On the so whether has he been then to Little St. James, or was he just on the log for Lolita Express? Because I mean, he could have been somewhere else with him.
I can't say for sure. I have not dug through the documents myself. I'm just going off of what people are saying online.
Well, either way, listen, no one's immune to this. Trump was on that. No one will let you forget that.
Well, no, he wasn't. He wasn't on any of these.
Who knows?
No, he literally is not.
Are you talking about on the new ones that were just released?
Yeah.
Oh,
not.
Then I don't know.
In fact, Donald Trump actually kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago back in the 80s because he hit on somebody's daughter.
Really?
Literally, yeah.
Badass.
But yeah, you're not going to hear about that in the news.
No.
You don't hear about that.
I'm more fixated on Stephen Hawking now.
Well, yeah, the Stephen Hawking thing, because it's funny because there's some I don't know if I think it's just fake and conjecture, but the stuff that he was into out there, allegedly on the island, was pretty weird.
But he can't do anything.
Well, yeah, it was more of a mental stimulation for him.
Oh, of course. He came in his pants all over the place.
It's like...
Can't believe it still worked, I guess.
What the fuck is that guy's name from the X-Men?
I don't know.
Professor Charles?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I see. It was very like...
No, I was thinking of the Sonic the Hedgehog dude, but he flies.
Well, it's more of an edgehog, but yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog. What's the dude with the mustache?
Oh, Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, but he was like a flying thing, right?
Yeah. He had a flying like.
But he was paralyzed vehicle. Too, right?
No, did you see the legs on that guy?
They're probably
the
so
fucking
atrophied. They're so atrophied.
They weren't atrophied. He's not walking everywhere. He's obviously.
Well, but either way, my biggest question is, what are the accommodations for this aircraft to accommodate
a vegetable like that?
Yeah, because I mean,
produce gets shipped all over the world. So it's not like
sure, but I mean, basically, you have to have onboard life support, right? That's a rolling life support machine for him, isn't it?
I don't think so.
I thought he was like,
it's just a computer and then a wheelchair that
because he operated it with his hand,
yeah,
and to be able to talk and move,
yeah.
But the rest of his body was lifeless, wasn't it?
I think so. I don't. We should. I mean, we could look it up. I don't really.
No, because it had to probably have like automated colostomy bag changing and shit on this thing.
Maybe
it had to have something. I think it was rolling life support.
Maybe. Well, then you could have just rolled it on the plane.
Yeah, well, you strap it down with tie straps.
It's like you see them like in the big birds. They
You have on a
fucking
cargo
strap-
airplane.
Yeah, they strap them down.
Where are they going to cargo him?
Put them down in the hold. Strap them down.
Unpressurized, no oxygen.
You'll be fine. You don't need that much, you know.
I'm still just trying to visualize like him rolling up the ramp on the Lolita Express.
Well, it's powered. It's powered. You know.
We still
Well,
rolling.
he did better than Biden for sure.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a hard landing to fucking knock him over on that thing.
He'll be fine.
He was fine, I guess. He made it through.
So allegedly, what he?
Yeah.
I think this is bullshit, but it's still funny to talk about what he was into. Watching little people struggle to write mathematical equations on a very tall chalkboard.
That's what got him off.
That's allegedly what got him off. You know, it was a.
Oh yeah. Well, he has nothing else to. I mean, get him off. So
That's the only. I mean, I kind of get it. Make it tracks.
do you mean little people as in children or as in like
Well, if we're talking about
dwarf type people?
if we're talking about Jeff Epp, I'd assume children.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, trying
But-
to get them, and he just that
Maybe-
smile that
But maybe
it went like this every time he tried to reach him.
maybe they were like children dwarfs, even smaller.
Oh, they're very tiny.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe
They're
that's
pygmies.
yeah. That's probably maybe on the island before Jeff
Yeah.
took it over. He captured them and.
Before a human
They're
trafficking ring, he just
Yeah, it's
grabbed up the pygmies.
Well, yeah, it was like Willy Wonka and the Oompa Loompas.
They're free game.
He did the same thing. He just made them slaves.
Paid him very well, though. I'm sure.
Slave labor, dude.
He paid him.
It's like I'm just no. He didn't pay him. I guarantee he didn't.
No, he's probably very fair. I mean, yeah, they're enslaved, but like they had to keep him alive and well.
You think some bigwig that owns a huge chocolate factory, candy operation is going to be fair with his slaves?
like had brothels in death camps.
Well,
Germany.
Well, there were some pools and whatnot, but that's
So what's the difference?
well. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not a good time. You're still a slave.
I guess. I mean, well, who knows? We'll never know.
We may never know.
We'll never get a chance to go. Is the only thing I'm bummed out about.
I'll go.
I mean, I would never partake in anything.
The other thing is, I mean, obviously,
see.
this is like, okay, this is one pedophile island. There's got to be hundreds more out there.
Oh yeah, you think this is the only person on Earth that's ever done this?
Well, this is also
out of here.
Big blackmail ring is what people don't really understand. That's the bigger picture.
Yes.
This is a big blackmail ring for politicians and powerful people.
Basically, exactly. And not
what
to
it
interrupt,
is.
I'm sorry, but it really is a place that lure people to say, look at all, you can have your wildest fantasies out here.
It's not even that. It's I'm taking you to my island. I'm going to get you a little tipsy. We're having a good time. A little Coke.
Sure.
And this girl, she really likes you. Like, just do your thing.
And then F pops up with a camera and goes,
Well, it's not that he pops up. It's there's cameras everywhere. It's like Dennis's room.
oh, okay.
There's cameras everywhere.
He didn't pop up and,
If you're in my room, you're always being filmed.
right? We're being filmed here.
But yeah, maybe I'm sure he got, he's in the closet.
With his egg.
Yeah. It's like an egg-shaped cock. Yeah. We'll roll that in.
Yeah.
Pepper that in.
But yeah, and obviously not to derail you from that thought, but
that's
really
really-
blackmail.
that's
People don't realize that's the main purpose almost of this.
That's the big pictures. This was
Yep.
literally an operation to blackmail politicians and powerful people. And it's, why are we not talking about that? Like, these people are compromised. Like,
How?
or they were.
Oops, sorry.
Now it's,
So my
Who
question
knows?
is, Jeffrey Epstein.
yeah.
What exactly? And this is where it's gray everywhere. It's like what did he do to acquire his wealth?
Great question.
See, that's the thing is he's this powerful.
It's called blackmail.
right. So that
Well, it's also called, and we might get shit on for this, but it's the Israeli government is really,
possibly
he's part of the Mossad. It's really, that,
Oh.
that was who was running this operation.
See, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then you won't. But that's what it is. Both also, when you blackmail a couple people, get some money. Yeah, he didn't really do anything. Like he
He wasn't like a philanthropist or anything.
a full on rapist. Yeah.
Oh, that's how it's pronounced. Yeah.
But,
Damn.
yeah, that was I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. He's dead now. So
Is he though?
Maybe.
See, honestly, like those are the questions
I
where
kind of don't. I mean, it's very possible that he isn't.
I just have these are the questions that your average person that's kind of programmed for the average like NPC daily sort of thing. I just say like, well, how do you actually know, man? Like if this dude is this powerful, what makes you think he just, killed himself in a jail cell? Now, it is believable that he was offed, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, because there's a
lot of people, blackmail operation. Right?
Yeah, but the other thing is number one, all these people, the people that you all have that are compromised, they would either A, want you dead, or B, want you off the case or off the hook.
Yeah, one or the other. And one's easier than the other.
Well, it's a lot easier.
Dead man don't talk.
Well, he's dead on paper.
Right.
I'm sure he's got a nice life support.
Stephen Hawking life support.
No, life insurance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, who knows, man? There's been plenty of times where people, and there's been people that are caught, and I'm sure there's plenty of people that haven't been caught.
Fake your own death.
Pilots, multiple cases of people that would go and fly their airplane on autopilot, low on gas, jump out somewhere, probably somewhere out in one of the Caymans or Virgin Islands. And
speaking of that, if anybody's familiar with the what's his name, Joe Exotic.
Oh yeah,
that saga. Carol Baskin's husband. There's no way he killed himself. He definitely went down to South America.
Oh, 100%.
And then she got to collect the life support and then not say anything about it.
Yeah, the life insurance.
Whatever. Life support. We were talking about Stephen Hawking. It's really
it's stuck in there.
It's really just in there at this point.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And again, I can't say it enough, but the conspiracy type stuff, I just love it because it's almost like gossip, right? It's almost like a little bit of drama.
It's fantasy. It's
fantasy.
Not, I don't want to call it fantasy. That's
because
a misnomer.
It could be real. In some cases, it proves that. It's more likely that the conspiracy is actually correct.
The truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jacqueline sent me a picture. She knows that we're recording on the phone. She sent me a picture of Sadie out there playing in the snow.
Nice.
Burning that cardboard.
Smart.
Very smart.
You know what's not smart?
What's that?
The United States has officially surpassed $34 trillion in national debt.
That is not smart. Keep it rolling.
Yeah. Let's keep the money going here.
And listen, and this is not belittling anybody out there that's listening, but do you realize how much money that is?
So I actually got the figure because we talked about it the other day. We were saying like how many dollars for every U.S. citizen the country.
Yeah, there you go.
It right now. Well, before this is probably a trillion. Before this was $250K a person. That's absurd. For every citizen.
It's absurd.
In the hole.
You're talking a brand new kid that just got born.
Yep. So
250,000.
You're talking like over somebody's lifetime. That's probably in total your gross income, at least 10 to 15 years of your gross income.
Yeah, there was another way that it was easy to project this figure. If you didn't understand
it's debt and how this is going to work in compounding interest, it's linear. So
right.
It's right a straight line.
Yeah,
eventually, it's
if you zoom back far enough, it'll look like an arc. But the closer you get,
well, that's the thing is, like I said, it's just a matter of time before the numbers just start to.
Right.
It's just how.
What I was actually going to say is that if you converted $1 per time, and I don't have the exact one, so don't quote me, but it's very similar. But they said if you made $1 per second.
Yeah.
Of your life, you would be a millionaire and I don't know this figure. I don't have the math in front of me, but it's like you'd be a millionaire in 10 years, right?
I think it's less than that.
Whatever. Like I said,
I bet it's like
I
bet it's a couple months.
Trying to paint the picture.
Yeah.
Or it's $1 a day or something like that. And then if it's like if you made $1,
if I give you a penny and it doubles every day. So you double the amount.
Not quite what I'm going after.
No, but I'm telling you, this is because this is the same thing. It's if I give you a penny, and you double what you have every day.
Yeah.
So a penny one day, 2 pennies the next day, the next day. It's like 64 days till you have $1 million.
Yeah, if you double the figure daily, but not quite what I'm going after. Again, it's,
Well, you don't know what you're going after.
No, so it was $1 a day or $1 a minute or something like that. In 10 years, you'd be a millionaire. In 20 years, or it was like in 100 years, you'd be a billionaire. And then it was like $1 trillion. It ended up being a ridiculous figure, like 300 years or something like that. I'd have to look up the exact quote, but that's how dramatic a million versus a billion versus $1 trillion is.
Well,
It's not just another digit, you know.
Well, it is.
Yeah, right.
But in actuality, it's logarithmic.
Yes.
At that point.
I wish I had that because it is really profound, kind of to think about it in the way of like $1 per.
I'm not thinking about it.
Because I'll never see $1 trillion, $1 billion. I may never see $1 million. I've probably already made $1 million in my lifetime.
I guarantee it.
I don't have $1 million.
I guarantee it. It's one of those things. I hope. They're going to default in debt at some point in time.
They're still kicking the can, baby. If they can keep kicking it, they will.
Although they can kick it for 20 more years, but it's just a matter of time. Like I said, World War III is really, I think, what's going to pull us out of that.
Sure,
situation.
at the expense of our young people and
Absolutely. Well, it's look what happened in Ukraine. There's no young men left in Ukraine. A whole like probably the Zoomers, the Gen Z, like millennials, like they're gone.
Well, it does two things
in that area.
Yeah,
they're gone.
It does two things in that sense, right? So it takes and actually literally kills off younger people, right? So that's one thing. Take that away from that, you're taking away consumers too.
Yeah.
Out of an economy. So those coupled together, I mean, it's dramatic effect on national debt.
Well, but whenever I spend $100,000 to buy this missile,
yes, right.
That really the GDP aspect there, which is bullshit. That's why our current GDP is positive now.
Right.
It's all government spending on military. It's
the price of aircraft, the price of anything in regard to
anything in the military. You're getting they get the best deals. I can assure you of that. The best deals.
Of course. And then all of your manufacturers or your contractors, if you will, people are now shifting. You have new contractors and new places that start to shift manufacturing for wartime, right? I mean, all this stuff just changes almost overnight.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, that's what's happening. That's why in World War II you had IBM making Thompson submachine guns.
Yeah. You have Mitsubishi, making aircraft.
That's kind of
Saab
anti-American. What you just said there. Kind of offended.
Whatever.
On that one.
Saab. You have Ford. I mean, all these guys, either whether they're making vehicles
they would all
or
trans. I mean, it's
very trans.
Well, yeah, you are. I can.
Yeah, transcendental.
That.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm transcending like those shadow people in Miami.
No. You're not that.
I'm tall like that, and dark in complexion like those shadow.
I've always been this tall.
Yeah, I've always. I'm actually kind of growing the older I get. Sideways. I'm still growing though.
Yeah, you're like the rings of a tree. The tree just
yeah. Well, not completely sideways. It's more girth. I'm growing in girth.
Yeah, you're chubbing up.
Muscle, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're cultivating mass.
And then I'll convert that muscle that fat into muscle because it directly. It's chemical stuff. You wouldn't understand chemistry, but the fat turns directly into muscle. As soon as I change a couple things and it just goes.
Yeah, I believe that.
And then I believe
that's like how bodybuilders get so ripped.
Yeah, tighten up. Yep.
It's not steroids.
Yeah, right.
Definitely not PEDs.
No. Metabolic. Oh, is that the metabolic?
Anabolic steroids.
Anabolic. Yeah.
We'll get some someday.
Yeah, I mean, my balls are already small. Who gives a shit? Fucking take it to the next level.
Not the road I was going.
Oh, okay.
You gotta have kids first.
Yeah, and
and then there's risk of cancer, depending on how hard you go.
Of course, yeah. Well, it's anything that is, chemical, something that's not moderation. Put it that way, if anything. But sugar, is one of those things that cancer feeds on, is a, like, you don't want your,
Does it?
oh yeah, absolutely, dude. People, so for instance, multiple people in my life that have had cancer and whatnot, but when you get it, they have a very strict diet that while you're on will prolong your life, at least help towards a cure or prolong during.
I think that's more of mitigating some of the side effects.
I mean, it could possibly be some of that too, but
I don't think. I think your diet obviously does have a big part to play in your health,
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Carbohydrates, at least, is one of those things, or I don't know if they call it like a carb or like some sort of basic sugar. I think a basic sugar is a
It's
carb.
carbohydrate, yeah.
But cancer cells need them.
Your body needs them.
They do, but you can still. I think you can mitigate, right? Or you can
I think it's more of controlling.
maybe control is what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. I don't know. Either way, it's. I would say your refined sugars are probably the worst, right?
Nah, I love those.
Your transcendental fats.
My body craves them.
You need fats.
How could it be bad for me if my body craves it?
That's true. I mean, I crave watching 5 episodes of Walking Dead, drinking beer, and eating some McDonald's.
That is your. I never got that, but I that's always been your show.
I like it. I don't know. Because I like to think how I'd live in a world like that, and not well. I probably wouldn't make it too far, but
Not very long, that's for sure.
as far did you hear that?
No,
Damn.
I did not.
But what do you got next in the plate, man? See, I'm bad at this. I kind of go with your topics, and I'll just comment on them.
I talked about the national debt. All right, so this is something I wanted to talk about because they say that crime is coming down in the United States, which I agree with to some degree. The numbers would give you that impression, violent crime at least.
Sure.
Retail crime, robberies, carjackings are up significantly because people don't have any money. Crime of desperation. In that case, this is how I interpret it.
Yeah, sure.
But
City data, by the way, can give you all these stats real easily.
Well, so this is a local case that I bookmarked. I'm going to talk about it. So, excuse me, Moon Township man charged with racing, crashing while DUI downtown.
See the one that killed people in the school bus?
I don't think he did.
No, that was guys working at a nuclear plant, I think.
No, but anyway, so this dude essentially driving drunk, smashed up some shit downtown. And it's like, this is this dude's third fucking DUI, and they let him out. They fucking let him out. They didn't lock his ass up, dude. It's
See, that's the thing,
fucking
man.
ridiculous.
I truly believe, obviously, it's all the crime dependent, obviously, right? But like
repeat offenders,
people
bro.
fuck up. But yeah, repeat offender. Why are you allowing them to continue to drive? And maybe he wasn't allowed to drive. I don't know.
I'm sure. I don't know. It's all conditional.
Sure, but you shouldn't. If this is your third offense, and now on this offense, guess what? Oops, too late. You killed someone. Like, you should have been behind bars
years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying. Listen, the first one,
everyone.
I'll let that slide.
I've never had one.
Neither have I.
Right.
I never will.
I don't drive though either. So.
Neither do I. But I mean, irrelevant.
Yeah.
But still, it's one of those things. Like, I think the judicial system is really.
Well, I don't know if there's enough places to keep all these people anymore.
Well, that's the other thing is, like, bro, there's something needs to be done about
our penal system. I mean, it's fucking that. It's what either the penal system, the judicial system. They're all fucked up.
It's more of privatizing prisons is not a good thing because you're incentivizing making criminals.
Yeah, I can't disagree.
But also now we're in the situation where there's a lot of criminals out there and they're just not putting them in jail.
Sure. So what you do is take the guy that's been in prison for 30 years for selling marijuana, in the 80s.
Oh, no.
And put away the fucking...
you can't do that.
The drunk driver that's killing people in multiple offenses. I don't understand why you can't have a rehabilitation style penal system like in other European countries that actually are proven to get people back into society.
Well, its recidivism rate, I think, in the United States is ridiculous from a criminal perspective. But I think also that's at the expense of the taxpayer.
Oh, no way. No way. Listen, you go in as a minor offender for something, whatever it is, to jail, and you come out a hardened criminal too.
Well, it's convict colleges.
Yeah.
That's what
Con
it is.
college, you know.
That's what it is. It's you learn from other criminals in jail. Very great idea, guys.
Sure.
Very good idea.
And when you privatize these prisons and these jails or whatever, I don't know the right nomenclature or.
Hey, it's just what is this facility owned by a private company or is it owned by the state?
You sure? Because this private company can make them go out and be sanitation workers or make them do like highway cleanup, or you have some that are just
work in this kitchen for 20 cents an hour.
Yeah, right. Slave labor.
Wood shop.
It's slave labor.
It is.
Literally.
It actually is, which I think it's bullshit.
Well, listen, man,
it's probably better than the alternative, which is not doing anything.
There's a lot of degenerates and pieces of shit in prison, but they're still human beings that should go through the due process of potential rehabilitation.
Absolutely.
It's not just like, hey, you committed a crime, cut off your hand, like
Riyadh.
Right.
It's not Riyadh, Samir.
That's what I mean, dude. Like, they're still fucking human beings. Now, if they can't prove themselves otherwise, guess what? But they're staying, or they need to be dealt with accordingly. But you can't just expect to say, hey, I sold some marijuana, I'm going to jail, and then the taxpayer has to foot my bill for a victimless crime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we're on the same page from that. I think all drugs should be legalized.
Yeah, it's a damn shame because I don't think everybody needs to do them.
No, you should. There's obviously drugs you shouldn't do. I think being sober is probably your best option.
Of course, yeah. I don't know, man. Regulation. There's always some regulation can always play a good role, but I don't want to sound like too far left
there's
when
nothing,
I say
there's no good solution to the problem.
No, there isn't. Yeah, you can't be so far right where you say he committed the crime, kill him, because well, what's the crime?
Depends on the crime.
That's true.
Eating
too.
a succulent Chinese meal.
Yeah, well, kill him. Kill him.
Grabbing my penis, sir.
My flaccid penis. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what you do, man, because human life is still worth something. It needs a.
Well, you're a taxpayer. You
there you have it.
Produce revenue for the federal government. You consume, you buy shit, you pay taxes. That's what it is at the end of the day. Realistically speaking.
Maybe street justice is the way you do it.
Honestly, I think that needs to make a comeback.
If someone tries to attack my family or harm my property, let me handle it. And if I lose, then guess what? Dude gets my property.
I was going to say, winner to the victor go the spoils, I guess, in that situation.
Yeah. I really don't know.
I'll still come to the podcast.
With this dude.
Well, yeah.
He's the new host, dude. What's up, dude?
But then I'll kill him and then I'll take it back.
Yeah, sure.
But it's going to be real. I'm going to blast him in the back.
It's going to be gruesome, yeah.
Well, it's not going to be that gruesome.
It'll be gruesome enough.
Well, I'm going to avenge you, obviously.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But...
Hey, man, you're a really good asset to this podcast. Cool, man. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, of course. It's how
get him.
It'll be fine.
I don't know. People would take it too far and get out of hand if it was street justice, too.
Yeah, that's the thing.
There's where regulation comes in again.
This is why you need a judicial system, because you're innocent to proven guilty in this country, and that's how it should be.
It absolutely should be. It doesn't always work out.
No, you can't get
O.J. Simpson.
Whoa, no, not
Casey Anthony.
Not OJ.
Casey Anthony got away with it too, didn't she?
I don't know.
I think she did.
Maybe.
Doesn't matter. These are huge cases. Of dude, you get away with fucking murder.
OJ didn't. The glove did not fit. You have to acquit.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
It's just simple Bidenomics, Jack. How could he have done it if the glove didn't fit him?
Dude's a straight up murderer,
No, he's not. He's a nice guy.
It's just convenient that it was right after, not too long after, I should say, the riots in Rodney King riots.
Yeah.
So that you're already getting a division between black and white, and this.
Let's blow this up. Let's throw some gas on the fire.
Yeah.
Standard procedure.
Yeah, so I mean, who knows? This is water under the bridge, and it's a non-issue anymore.
I like OJ personally. You're gonna have to cut that.
That doesn't matter. You're on the podcast. I just got a complaint. You have a complaint?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, I called a phone and it just went straight to voicemail.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. We
The heck guy.
yeah, we normally normally would be right on that. That's not true, actually. So I only check this phone once a week usually. How you doing, buddy? It's been a while since I heard from you. You back in town?
I am.
Nice,
I
man.
actually, saw a big fire out there in your backyard, and I whistled. And then the person walked away, and it was Jacqueline.
Yeah, she's out there burning some cardboard right now. We're up in the studio here, obviously doing the podcast.
I assume so.
Well, you're on it now. I mean,
Yeah,
it's too
well,
late.
now
It's too
you're on
late.
it.
You're
Yeah.
roped in at this point.
So, how long are you in town
No,
for?
no. The rest of my life.
Oh, you do.
Nice.
That's all right.
There it is.
Listen,
I
hey,
gotta bleep it out.
no, it's all. That's a whole ass county.
That's
hey,
a long ways away from where we're at.
let me let's finish the podcast. You want to have a few drinks later?
I got something to do. I was gonna stop over real quick, but you guys do your podcast so I can listen to it.
All right, absolutely, man. Well, if you are done with your plans a little early tonight, give me a ring. If not, maybe swing up tomorrow and we'll catch up. I definitely got to catch up with you.
All right, sounds good. Don't talk about anything too tender, you know.
I'll try not to. Thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you here soon.
See you, bud.
All right, see you. Bye.
Bye. That was cool.
We gotta cut that again.
It's just a fucking name. Who gives a shit?
You gotta cut that.
No, I'm not cutting it. I refuse to cut it.
You're gonna cut it. He's gonna cut it.
I won't.
Everybody.
I won't.
For the record.
Let it be known. That was actually the first.
Well, the first
call
one we
in.
had live.
Yeah, that someone called in while we were recording.
Well, I mean, people just don't get it. They should know the time that we do the podcast.
Saturdays.
Don't tell them exactly.
Well, I want them to call in. Those would be riddled with callers.
That's what I'm saying.
Next
We don't-
caller.
Yeah,
Next caller.
We don't want that.
Hi, first time, long time. You know, all these people are going to be chiming in.
We don't want that. Keep the riffraff out. Jack's cool.
What were we talking about before we were rudely interrupted?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you answered the goddamn phone.
I think it was hard not to.
And then you said his name. We're gonna have to edit that out.
I'm not going to do it.
You have to. You have to.
I won't. Why? There's names everywhere. You have a name. I have a fucking name.
I know.
We say my daughter's name.
What we need to talk about is
Just name.
in Canada now, legally, you have to have tampons in the men's bathroom.
For the men
Yes.
or for the women? Because sometimes women can go in men's bathrooms.
Men can have periods, Ken. How dare you?
Do you mean after they complete the bottom surgery, they are
No.
leaking blood?
No.
Because it never heals? Or
No. No. And yes, but no.
because that would make sense. Like, I would like you to keep your fluids
Ken,
inside of you.
It's the law now. Any government or public building, you have to have tampons in the men's restroom.
That is so absurd.
I mean, I bet the tampon lobby up in Canada was really
You're loving that. Well, they upped their game by 50%.
literally, at least in that segment.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing, without sounding like violent, because I don't want to sound that way. I just wholeheartedly disagree. Like, why are you going against basic
It's
biology?
It's the stupidest. It's
Cute. You think it's cute because, like,
it's pandering to the smallest demographic.
well, it is. You have a trans person, right, that goes in there and they're mad about this. They want a tampon.
Number one, every woman should have tampons in their purse. That's standard issue shit for a woman. So if you're a fucking tranny who doesn't really know what she's doing, and that's a tough lesson to learn.
Well, yeah,
Girl.
because you're not going to bleed anyways.
Oh, you
First
will.
of all,
oh, you will.
That's
You get the
different, though.
surgery.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But what actually I'm driving at is you don't menstruate, right?
Or if you're a female who identifies as male, you still get your period if you haven't had any sort of downstairs mix up.
Actually, that's actually I can't really disagree with that. If you're going to make fluid bathrooms, but the angle,
Well, then just make them all gender neutral.
there you go. Be done with it. But
Let me shit in the urinal in the transgender bathroom.
and I will. But the angle I was
Hands
going
down,
at is that
obviously.
if you have a man, biological man,
Yeah.
and they want to go live a fantasy world and it's like, oh, I'm on my period, so I have to go get my little stuffed animal out of here and like I'll pretend like I'm putting it in.
It's a tampon or a pad, but yeah.
You know what I'm saying though? It's like it's just, dude, it's fucking complete nonsense mental illness. Like if you feel a certain way, that's fine. You act that way, and I'll listen. If it happens,
I'm going to support you.
I honestly will. If you're mentally ill and you have that problem,
see, we talk about this a lot, but it's not even. Is it a mental illness? Yes. Are there other mental illnesses that you could categorize exactly the same? Yes. It's not. It's you can still be a functioning member of society.
Absolutely. I don't care what you do.
Quote unquote mentally ill.
How you dress. You cut your dick off.
It's one of those things that I'll support you in whatever you do, but we're not gonna make exceptions for everybody.
That's all. Yeah. Hey man,
you can't do it, Ken.
It's
like Ken's. He had a little baby dick. I'm not gonna cut 5/8 of mine off just so mine's the same size as Ken's. I'm not gonna do it.
It's totally wrong. It's it's incorrect information and stats and measurements that you're talking about here right now. But I see what you're going.
It was a fraction, and yeah, I get it. You probably couldn't add that up.
I know it. I'm aware.
I'm aware
of what it is. No, but I'm 100% on board with your line of thinking because, bro, like, what if I guess what, dude? I like to sniff socks and jerk off. Now I should. No, I actually really don't like to do that. But
he does, for the record. I've seen him.
What I'm trying to say is that I have some fetish or kink or whatever that I should be doing this. Like, I think now I should be supported because of this. Like, I don't know, dude.
You're a furry.
First of all, let's go back a little bit. When it comes to all these people's like sexual preferences, I can't. I'm on a thing.
No. Well, yeah. Well, we can roll this into the next topic, which I have, which is the mass shooting that happened the other day.
Oh, perfect. I'd love to.
Right. Transgender.
Let me just finish this one thought.
Go ahead.
Because this is important to me. It's like, why does everyone it's so brave to come out as this or that, or this is what gets me off, or this? Like, dude, why do you got to tell people? No one cares who makes you come or how it makes you come. Or who fucking what makes your dick hard? Who gives a shit, dude?
So I think this is more of a societal thing, not necessarily because back in the day, there were still all these fetishes and kinks existed back in the 50s and 60s. Absolutely. I think they've existed for almost forever.
Probably definitely since the Romans.
But
all those degenerates.
That's not how people. That wasn't your whole fucking identity in life.
Yeah,
it wasn't. That was just a small. Your sexuality is just a small aspect of who you are.
Yeah, it exists. It happens.
It should not be You should not base your personality around your sexuality, your kinks, or whatever.
Same with your job. Could you not agree with that? To say I know a ton of people that you want this.
Yeah,
they're actually pretty sweet. But
let me just. I'll take a half. I'm gonna rip one in half.
Okay, it's fine.
So I
get it in there. The delivery method. So they taste real good.
This is a first for everybody.
It's first for the world.
You go up or lower deck.
Yeah, I'm a lower decky, personally. But either way, so the same for your job.
I can taste the fiberglass.
Nah, it's not in there.
It tastes good. It's really good, actually. It's like a breath mint.
Kind of. So there is. Your job, there's tons of people I've even worked with in the industry I'm in. They like to go to the bar and say, I'm a pilot or I'm an aircraft mechanic or I'm this, and that's all they talk about, all they do. If that's your hobby,
it's your personality.
That's great. But I don't get along with a lot of those people in the workforce because guess what? I go to work. I have moderate enjoyment. I can't say that I hate it because I wouldn't do it, but I don't come home and fucking jack off with airplanes.
Well, no, he does. For the record, I've seen anime titty airplanes on his desktop.
Never.
For the record,
never. It was a
phase. It was a phase.
There's I want to go to work and make my money, come home so I can do and use those funds to fund the things I'd like to do outside of work. And it's a hard concept, believe it or not, for a lot of people that I work with. I don't know if you run into people like that too, like to go home and talk about fucking real estate.
No, everybody in the industry. I mean, I don't want to say they hate their job. It's pretty standard. I mean, it's work. It's a job. Like it's the quote unquote ends to the mean. Or means to the end, or whatever.
Work to live, not live to work, at least in the way that I look at it. And sometimes that is to my own fault.
Born to shit, forced to wipe.
Exactly. It's terrible.
It's terrible. It's one of these. Is what it is. Yeah.
We need to get some toilet flushing or something on here. That'd be real good. But I don't know. I don't know how to fix that problem, at least in my personal career and life. And I know I got off on a little bit of a tangent, but it's like, I just want to make my money and do the things like this podcast is super fun for me. I look forward to this. I don't look forward to going back to work or, working on airplanes.
This is the thing. I don't think everybody can, this is my opinion, everybody can say what they want, but I don't think anybody really likes to work. You'd rather be doing the things you're passionate about, which at the end of the day, if everybody just did what they were passionate about, things would probably work out. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the asshole because those people that are passionate, that's what they do at home and at work. Maybe they're the ones that are that actually have it right. But I just need income. So
that's what I'm saying.
I'm passionate about. Make this.
Oops, sorry. I hit a double there.
It happens. Let's make this our passion and then our income from this, and then I'm happy to go to work.
I'm very passionate about this.
Of course, sure. I'll pull my Jeff Epp egg penis all over the place. And
no, you're 3/4 inch.
No.
Flaccid.
No. It's huge. It's way bigger than that. Well, maybe not flaccid.
So what I wanted to roll this into.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
The recent mass shooting that happened in Illinois, I believe. Transgender guy.
Oh yeah.
17-year-old.
You're talking about just the one with the shoes that didn't match?
No, that's
different training.
This is being a common theme now, and now the media, when it happens, they don't really want to. It doesn't fit the narrative. We don't want to talk about it. So this is transgender, gender fluid man, 17 years old, goes in and shoots up the school. But I think if you dig a little more deeper into it, he was getting bullied in school.
Classic,
happens.
Right? I mean, most of these school shooters
builds character, honestly.
Yeah, unfortunately, because bullying can go too far. But
anyways, I don't. Well, now it can. I think something's different from our generation to the generation now.
I think it's social medias and whatnot.
Yes,
that really drives.
That's what really pushes people over the edge. Mm-hmm. But because I got bullied, we bullied kids. Yeah. It's
yep.
But everybody was cool with each other at the end of the day.
Yep.
The
term bully is different, I think, too, because your idea of bullying people wasn't like jamming someone up against the corner of her locker and going, I'm going to beat your ass later. You know what I mean?
See, that's more of like a gay side. That sounds more sexual than anything. It's more of repressed homosexuality there. But yeah.
It was more or less like my idea of bullying when I grew up, probably similar to you.
A book drop or like.
Yeah, a book drop, or it's like starting a rumor about
gay?
Someone. Yeah, maybe a rumor like, Ken's gay, dude.
Well, it's not a rumor. That's confirmed.
No, but
myth plausible.
No, but I think it was pretty light duty. Now it's like with social media, someone starts a rumor, then it's like worldwide, right? And it affects their platforms across the board.
What I'm saying is, so anyways, this kid was getting bullied.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then I think what allegedly, quote unquote, this is what I've read, the media is saying that his little sister started to get bullied, and that's what drove him over the edge, and that's why he killed some people.
Yeah, why wouldn't you too? Like wasn't Columbine a similar situation of like bullying, right? No trannies. They didn't exist back then.
I don't know. I don't know if Columbine was a bullying situation.
I think it was. And
I don't know.
Neither here nor there.
We can do a whole episode on that at some point.
We should. That's a big one. But I think it started this whole world what we live in.
Yes and no. I think that was more of like that was something that the media really dug into, and we got to get these guns out of these.
We'll also set the bar for future school shooters, essentially.
Kind of. They did have a pretty high score, if I recall.
But they also, I think, went to individual people that harmed them. See, I think it was like a targeted, premeditated.
This is why everybody, you just got to be nice to people, and then you won't get blasted.
Nice to everybody, even the gay furries and whatever, and be nice to them.
John really needs to take a note out of our book.
Well, because
he's going to get blasted. He's going to get blasted someday.
Ooh, the way he talks.
We'll
yeah. John's a no-filter guy, too.
Well, yeah, that's why we love him so much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about it again later.
But I think it's more of just a lot of mental illness in the world right now, and I think social media is the biggest part to play in that.
Yeah.
But
I didn't think growing up that we would have the access that we have to information, to connectivity to other people.
We didn't grow up with the internet, but we had the internet in our young lives.
Yeah, I would say like teens,
Yeah.
like early teens, when it really became like something we were able to access.
Yeah, a big thing.
Yeah.
Computer science class, you know.
Yeah, right. I mean, because you had at that point like instant messengers, AIM, like AOL, and it was
Yeah.
first coming alive, and
Well, the chat rooms.
the chat rooms, dude.
Yeah,
chat
I'm looking
roulette.
for some underage
ASL,
strange.
dude. ASL.
Jeffrey Epstein style, you know. But I'm 14 years old.
They got away with it hard back then. All those pedos.
Bro,
Ooh.
it's insane. It's insane. It's insane the shit that like
They have whole task forces and everything to like
Well,
catch these people now.
do they?
I don't know. I see a lot.
I
of,
think they're all in on it. Like I really think
you mean
it's
planning people with their computers with like
child porn. Yeah,
yeah.
it happens all the time. Happens all the time.
That's why I don't own computers. You can't.
That's literally why I don't want to own a personal computer.
right. Yeah.
It's because they can go in and backdoor that shit and
Those go to your work computer and say, "Oh, he was doing it during work time."
I wasn't.
Yeah, they could do it. But another reason why I like Apple, they basically told the feds, "Fuck you" on the
Yeah,
back
Tim
door.
Cook
So,
is
yep.
based as fuck for that. Honestly,
There's a lot of other cuck things that he's done.
absolutely.
But-
But that was like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That's what made me like, okay, I want to
Yeah.
buy an Apple product because of that.
Yeah. It's a big deal. And this isn't like being brand whoring. I don't give a shit about who's got the fastest camera and all this. I don't give a shit about that. It was literally security. I mean, it's not even security. It's a specific type of security.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day. If somebody wants your information, or
Yeah,
wants
of
to
course.
get into your shit, they're going to get into
Yeah,
it.
but you can't upload porn onto my phone now.
Well,
you know,
I can
airdrop it to me.
airdrop some dick pics. You know,
Little boy dick pics,
no.
big hog dick pics.
I mean, I don't want to. I'm not going to show the picture on the podcast, but you know,
Yeah, it was prosthetic.
Ken likes to
Very
cope.
fake.
Ken likes to cope.
I'm just having a nice big bowl of copium over here.
I don't know what to tell you.
No, we will also not talk about that.
We'll roll that
later
in.
date.
We'll roll it in.
Roll it in.
We'll pepper it in.
Can we use the pixels like on Japanese porn? Your
Some
eyeballs.
jab stuff, yeah, you know, for sure. We can do that, yeah.
That's funny as shit.
But we'll make it look a little bigger. Then.
Sure, but I'm not going to do it. You have to do the censoring because that means I'd have to stare at your dick.
He already saved the picture on his phone.
I threw it out there. I put it on a.
I bet you catfished with it. I'm sure. I'm sure you got a lot of hits. A lot of hits on that one.
I put it on a picture board on Reddit, or not on Reddit, on 4chan. And I said, "Rate my hog," and it was.
I'd say it says 7. It's
pretty good. I actually got a couple
6,
meetups.
7. I'm sure you did, and they were disappointed. They were like, "No,
What's this? The angle? You know,
the angle."
I mean, I still got off, so did they, but they weren't happy about it.
I was gonna say it's a catfish situation for you.
But they're already there.
Well, I'm glad I could help you.
They
get
flew in. You know,
Jesus
they got,
Christ, dude.
They got a piece.
Jesus Christ. I don't want a piece of that.
No one does.
Some guy does.
Oh,
Some guy
King
definitely
Ass
does.
Ripper
He
does.
does.
The king.
We got to get him on. I bet he's dead, but we'll get him on.
Yeah, that's old shit. I think his videos are from like
2014.
Yeah, is that what it was?
14, I think.
Boy, I mean,
That was his era.
if he's not dead and no one else, I haven't seen him on anybody else's podcast. So like, what makes him?
We could be first to market.
Oh, maybe we got the king on.
He's literally. There's nobody better than this guy.
I think he fills his asshole with air.
Yeah, I honestly, because there's well, I don't.
possible.
You saw
Terrible
him,
diet.
You saw him eating that fucking mayonnaise though. Like,
Right out of the jar.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's possible.
Bro, and I saw the poop like on the undies,
Well, that was more of a liquid situation.
but it grew with each fart. It kept getting bigger. It's a liquid fucking. It's more of a mist that kept
Fine,
like,
particulate.
but slowly darkening the undies.
It's like your furnace filter.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's
Whoa.
6 months of use in 10 seconds.
And he kept them bad boys a long time because
They were so holy and shit, dude. They're blown out. We got to get them on.
he sold them to someone and probably made a huge fortune.
I guarantee it.
Got the King's fucking filter.
King's filter.
The King's ass filter, dude. Kept in all the fucking the brine,
The sweet brine. He wasn't really smuggling it. It was pretty out in the open.
Oh
honestly.
no! And that filter was just a large particulate filter. It did not catch anything, any chloroform or any what do they call that?
That house is riddled with fecal
Microflora.
coliform.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Riddled.
Oof. I hope he was renting.
Not my house.
For that landlord.
Not my house.
Yeah, right.
Not in my house, dude. I'm going to make a King Astroper clause in every lease I ever have. Not allowed to do that.
The king clause. Holy shit.
It would be good. It would be good. You know.
Roll in. What do you got next?
That was really all I had.
That's it. We're at the hour mark, anyways. Good episode. Yeah, we're going to roll in the king clause for every. That's going to be the beginning of every podcast.
Yeah, we'll put that debriefing or that clause at the end, the beginning.
Keep your legalese tight. You know.
Tighter than him for sure.
Oh, God, that poor ass.
King clause.
Oh,
This poor. This poor everything.
everything that bought it, and he got bigger too. Like the beginning of his videos and the end ones, like he was. Really,
That's why I believe it.
yeah, because
I
that wasn't.
believe
It wasn't just the farting.
That was pre-AI.
Yes, it wasn't even just the farting. Like he had a big like gluttony, like mukbang.
Well,
sort
yeah,
of
there
thing
is.
before
There is.
that was.
Well, so people know that is a huge kink.
Yeah,
Like I said, you could probably do pretty well.
nah, I don't eat a lot.
Well, you could burp. You could burp, right?
No, I don't. I don't burp.
Somebody just got off to that.
Sometimes I fart. Very rarely. I save them for the podcast.
People get off to that stuff, dude.
They do.
Not me, but
No, not. All right, folks. Hey, look. Next week, I got to tell you, what
a special guest.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to promise it.
I don't want
But
to
merch for sure. We're gonna showcase the merch.
100%. We'll come up with some pricing too that's fair for everybody.
We're not trying to make a lot of money on this first run. The other thing.
We want to get them out there.
We got some freebies we got to throw out.
There's a couple, and yeah, don't feel bad if you're not one of those people. We work with a couple
feel
different
bad.
groups right now.
You should feel bad.
Yeah, you should.
You should.
There's a couple groups that we owe them to for a little cross marketing that we're dealing with. So either way, we'll
cross pollination.
Yes, of course, and we
Dutch
will
road
we'll make sure that we price accordingly and fairly so that
Well, number one, I don't want to shill it right now, but American made, printed right here in Pittsburgh.
yeah, we're going to go all about. We're going to touch the five. We'll do a little AMSR with it.
Oh,
you know,
for sure.
it's going to be.
We'll
good.
do a couple feature pictures. We'll do a photo shoot. It'll be good. It'll be good.
It is going to be good. All right, folks. Hey, we'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.